All right, so now we're going to be dividing whole numbers by whole numbers to get a fraction. This is going to be found on page 4. So we're starting here with 6/7, and we want to write that as a fraction. Remember, the first number, our dividend, becomes our numerator, so that's 6. And then the 7 is our divisor, or the second number, the number of groups we're dividing into. That's going to become our denominator. So 6/7 is equal to 6 divided by 7. Notice there's no whole number here, so we know that this fraction lies between 0 and 1. So if we started with 6 wholes, and we wanted to divide these into 7 groups, notice we don't have enough for 7 groups, so we would have to split each one into 7 parts. So we can split each of these into 7 parts. And now one part, or each part, is going to go into one of the 7 groups. So if we had 7 groups here, we can label this A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. We have 7 groups. Let's label the first part in each of these A so that we know the first part's going into group A. We will use So now let's see how many parts are going to be going into group A. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts are going to be going into group A. And remember, our denominator tells us how many parts make up a whole. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts make up a whole. So this model represents 6 A's out of 7 parts to make a whole. If we wanted to use a written method, we could do 6 divided by 7. We know 7 can go into 6 0 times. 7 times 0 is 0. Subtract, our remainder is 6. So we have 0, remainder 6. When we're writing that as a mixed number, that would be 0 as our whole, because there's 0 wholes. Our remainder becomes our numerator, and the number we're dividing right here, 7, is our denominator. So 0 and 6/7, which is equal to just 6/7. The same thing we got over here. Let's try one more together. Here we have 9/6. We want to write that as a division expression. Remember, the numerator becomes our dividend, our first number here in its division sign. We're going to be dividing because our fraction bar relates us to division. Our denominator becomes our divisor, or the second number we're dividing by, 9 divided by 6. Let's see, we know that this equals 1 whole because that's 6/6, and we need 3 more 6 to get to 9/6. 1 and 3 6. Well, 1 and 3 6 lies between 1 and 2 on the number line. So let's start with 9 wholes. And we're going to put these into 6 groups. So I use a different color, we use red. Here's 1 for group 1 for A. This can go into group B. This can go into group C, group B, group E, and group F. We know that there's 6 groups. Oh, but we need to do something with these remainder groups, or with these remainder parts. We can break these up into 6 parts so that 1 part from each of these can go into one of the groups above. So let's break these into 6 groups, or 6 parts, I should say. Now let's give the first one from each of these parts to A. So we can see in group A, we're getting 1 whole and 1, 2, 3 parts let's count how many total parts are needed for each whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parts. So group A is going to have 1 and 3/6 of another whole. We can see that's the same as over here. If we wanted to use the written method, we would do 9 divided by 6. So 9 divided by 6, we can multiply 6 by 1 to get close to 9 without going over. 6 times 1 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. Oh, 3 is smaller than 6, so we know that's a remainder. That's 1 remainder 3. So as a mixed number, that would be 1, because that's our whole number, 3, because that's our remainder, so that's going to become our numerator, and 6 is our denominator, because that's the number we're divided by, 1 and 3/6, which is the same as right here. Try the rest of the page on your own.